any moment was a rich source of material.
The lights went out throughout the city. From the tops of the buildings, huge beams played across the sky, searching, searching. All the subways have display notices advising the people to take shelter, hurrying to and fro were the militia, armed. It was marvellous. It reveals wonderful determination.
The 15th International Brigade was where the majority of volunteers were placed. 40,000 people worldwide came to fight in Spain. Over 2,000 British, a quarter of them Scots.
Barcelona, November 10th, 1936. This evening we went to a meeting of the French and German sections.
Pardon? Ah, désolé, mademoiselle, je parle pas espagnol.
This place is full of people of all nationalities. Most of them are about 25 to 30 years old. Romanians, Bulgarians, Russians, Germans. This is the kind of international that will unite the human race. I hope I can pick up Spanish so that I can get a thorough knowledge of the international movement. All I can say is dos cafés con leche and salud. Everyone says that Spanish is simple. But to me, the pronunciation is like committing suicide. I almost trip over each word. Nothing depresses me so much as the fact that I don't understand what's being said, and I'm unable to ask exactly what I want. It gives me an inferiority complex. All languages are spoken here, but those who understand English are few and far between. Truly, I should feel cheated if I was to leave Spain with nothing attempted and nothing done. I feel my future depends on making good here. I shall do great things when I'm back in Britain, but I want to achieve something here first.
Ethel's journalistic and propaganda skills had been noticed. She was recognized as the right voice for Barcelona's anarchist radio station. Radio was the new and compelling media of the day, and fast becoming an important weapon in Spain's ideological struggle. As soon as Franco's rebels attacked, they began broadcasting propaganda, war news, claims of victory and other military information for public consumption. Every radio station was directly controlled by either the rebels or loyalists solely for the dissemination of propaganda. In Catalonia, the radio station was a crucial medium for volunteers from every country, English being the one language many of them had any knowledge of other than their own.
2, 1, dentro.
Yesterday I went to a small place outside Barcelona called Sabadell. A group of young comrades have taken over a house, and there they have a school for mutual instruction. The FBI headquarters in Sabadell are in an old...
I think it's an interesting thing to look at, the huge importance that radio had, and radio voices, and how enormously significant they were in building morale and mobilizing people for the resistance to fascism in Spain.
They have definite ideas of action, not mere theory.
Barcelona was the center of the revolutionary resistance, and her voice, her daily broadcasts, as part of the, of the kind of propaganda and political machine of the anarchists will have been important. Of course, the best-known radio voice of all was La Pasionaria, with her No Pasarán slogan. She spoke almost every day on the radio and became well known in Spain and beyond. Strange, really, because, in a sense, both these women came from similar backgrounds, working-class backgrounds, from kind of industrial areas. Very different, and yet, in a curious way, kind of occupying parallel roles, maybe, in Spain.
Are you English-speaking workers prepared to let this tragic force, which means the rape of Spain, go on? If you are men and women, if you sense the class struggle, you will permit no ban on volunteers. Spain wants action. Action by the great democracy in every democratic country, action at home to defeat fascism, to aid the struggle of anti-fascist Spain. The English language is held by those who speak it to be the greatest language of freedom. To all who believe, therefore, the best of the English tongue, who hear it ringing in the accents of the martyrs, and not the callous, cynical tones of the persecutor and the judge, I address myself. I ask you again to make it the language of freedom. Let it vie with the Spanish tongue and the tongue of one-time revolutionary France. Let it speak to fascism, to Hitler, to Mussolini, and to Franco. Let the voice of the people of England, the voice of strangled freedom, be heard.
In the wider world beyond, the radio brought living news of the momentous happenings in Spain. Her broadcasts reached as far afield as the USA.
The common people of Spain sometimes battled with only their bare fists and walked heroically to their deaths to vanquish fascism. The ill-equipped and betrayed people were winning, so fascist Portugal, fascist Italy, fascist Germany stepped in, whilst France, Britain, especially Britain, played at democracy. Played at democracy, spoke non-intervention, and behind non-intervention assisted fascism and Franco.
A prominent news editor in California reported that he had received hundreds of letters about Ethel MacDonald because she had the best radio voice he had ever heard.
The Spanish government has been forced to flee from Madrid to Valencia. That, on the 114th day of the terrible civil war, was the news from Spain. And pouring into Valencia too come Madrid's children, speeding from the continuous danger of bombardment that hangs over the capital.
As the fascist insurgency gained strength, tensions began to rise amongst those defending the Republic. On November the 14th, Buenaventura Durruti, a leading anarchist, returned from the Aragonese front, where he commanded a force of 5,000, the legendary Durruti column. Ethel reported his sudden and mysterious death on the 19th of November, 1936.
I was at the interment. The streets of Barcelona were packed. Durruti's dynamic integrity is a serious loss to the workers' struggle. Except for the fact that liberty does survive the death of its prophets and its warriors, one would wonder what would come of such a loss. His body rested all night in the hall of our headquarters. We honour his memory and the uniqueness of his energy and courage combined.
Durruti was shot either by a sniper or accidentally by his own pistol. But in the heightened atmosphere of Barcelona at the time, his death provoked further division and rumour, even amongst anarchists themselves.
Sobre la mort de Durruti hi ha encara una sèrie d'hipòtesis obertes. En concret n'hi ha tres. Una és que el van matar els propis anarquistes, sobretot els anarquistes més radicals, contraris a que la CNT-FAI formessin part dels governs. Una segona interpretació és que va ser assassinat pels comunistes, és a dir, pels que deien els contrarrevolucionaris, i la tercera és que se li va disparar la seva pistoleta que duia sempre penjada.
The disagreements between the various Republican factions was becoming a problem. Anarchist leaders felt they needed to take action. With the fascist threat coming ever closer, the Madrid and Barcelona headquarters would soon be involved in fighting.
Bé, els anarquistes durant aquells moments, a setembre del 36, estan rebent de part dels comunistes com una pluja enorme d'epítet, és a dir, tant els diuen que són uns salvatges, que són uns incontrolats, que perdrem la guerra per culpa dels anarquistes. Tota aquesta unió de coses i de forces fa que els dirigents anarquistes considerin que és necessari entrar en els governs. Intervenir en el govern significa anar en contra dels principis anarquistes, que no són, estan en contra de la política, en contra de l'Estat.